Good morning. I am super excited to be back. I'm not used to having a microphone. This is interesting. I'm so excited to be back here. I cannot believe it's been a year. For those of you who don't know Maggie, she is the Safe Church representative for our classes. So thank you for coming and being with me. So I brought some little cards that y'all can take with you, and I'm going to share a couple of the statistics and kind of explain some of them. Y'all, when I made this card, I did not think how small it would be printed, so I'm very sorry. If you wear glasses, pull out a magnifying glass. If you don't wear glasses, maybe borrow someone next to you. So we started our homeless ministry in 2015, and it didn't really begin as a homeless ministry. Since Sunrise began in 1987, since our church plant, we've always had a couple of homeless a part of our congregation. They've been a part of our family, and we've walked with them through their lives and helping them and getting them whatever they need when they need it. But in 2015, instead of just the 2 or 3 that we were used to having, stay in our classrooms overnight or staying in our houses, we decided to start helping the 3 or 4 more people that were on our doorstep. And that kind of just blossomed into an actual ministry. If you ask anyone at Sunrise, they will tell you we had no clue we were getting into a ministry. We were just helping our neighbors. In 7 years, we have seen over 700 people housed. And what's so exciting is that what you may not realize is that is over 60% of the people who are housed in Austin. So even though we're a small church, just like y'all are, we are able to make a huge impact. So I want to say, first off, thank you for being a part of that ministry and supporting us. But also to encourage you, if there is something that you're like, we need this in Stephenville, know that your little church can have a big impact. I think a lot of times small churches, especially in smaller denominations like we are, they kind of forget, right? They see each other as this is our family and this is what we do. But y'all already make an impact with your school, yes? So how many kids do y'all have at your school? Do you know? 60. Oh my gosh. That's huge. So just recognizing that and making sure other people around you know, yes, we are making an impact. This is where our heart is. And so allowing us to come and tell you where our heart is wonderful, but we want to hear that from you as well. If you look at the second little point, this is something that just came out, and we are telling everyone about it, and we want everyone to tell everyone about it. So we do our system you apply for housing through an application like you would an apartment, right? And so in order to apply for housing, you have to do all the check boxes and all of the forms. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that you have to fill out hundreds of forms for one chance at housing. And we don't do that through our own system. We use a city system. And so for the longest time, we actually didn't have any records to know how many people we had officially served because we weren't allowed to see the numbers. We weren't allowed to get the reports. That changed last September. And so every quarter, we now get a report on what our numbers look like in comparison to the rest of the city. And if you look, we are 47.3% doing the homeless work in Austin. The next biggest organization is, I don't even remember, it's 6.2. So know that when you are supporting us, you're supporting something way bigger than us, way bigger than we ever imagined, way bigger than I'm sure you ever imagined. And for us, it's a joy to be able to come and share that with y'all, and to be able to just show people all you have to do is open your door. All you have to do is see your neighbor as yourself. So there's lots of other statistics on here. I was interested to know how many homeless are in Stephenville. So I looked it up, and the state registers 1. So y'all are doing great. Good job. However, your poverty line is 21.2%. So just kind of food for thought, like, you don't have homeless in the city, which is great, so you don't even have to worry about that. But where could you be for the low-income community of that 21%? And you probably are already doing something that I don't know anything about. And if you are, I want to hear all about it. So just kind of a food for thought encouragement. So I do want to tell you one quick, I know the last couple of years I've told you a story about an individual person. And I feel like that gives more meaning because you have a face, right? So today, do we have those pictures? Perfect. Today, this is Debria. She's on, wait, y'all's left, my right. Thank you. So the number below her is the number that she was when she got housed. So she is our 463rd person to get housed. And here's the thing about Debria. She got housed, and 4 days later, she got kicked out. So that number may not be accurate, but very few of our people get kicked out. She has schizophrenia, and at the time, she had an integral care or MHMR mental health provider, and they refused to see her because they said her case was too dire, and they couldn't handle her. And so they refused to literally have her appointments, and they would run away from her. So we decided at Sunrise to have her appointments at Sunrise. We were like, come, do her appointment here, and if there's a problem, we'll step in and handle it, and you can walk away for a minute. And Integral Care said, okay, we'll come. So they came. The caseworker was like, no, I can't handle her. I'm not going to help her. So we're like, okay, she's been kicked out of her housing. She's still on the list. We're going to get her back in somewhere because she's now been awarded housing. But how do we get it to be sustainable? So the reason why she was kicked out is she stabbed her neighbor. So it's a legitimate reason to be kicked out, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, because of her disease, she also stabbed herself. She tried to stab multiple people on our staff. And most churches, most organizations, most counselors would say, yeah, no, go, right? And that's a pretty normal thing to do. In fact, I will tell you that every time I entered the church and I saw her, I would make sure I was just a few steps away before I walked into the church, just for safety reasons. But how can someone like that get housed and can keep it? We have a licensed counselor on our staff for the Navigation Center, and they said, you know what? If Integral Care won't take her, we will. So they talked to a mental health hospital that literally came out to our site just to talk to her with our counselor, who she began to learn and trust. She got another housing opportunity. They put her in housing, and within a month, she was out again. And we kept telling them, don't put her in housing until she's ready. Don't push her until she's stable. So after 3 years of working with her, we decided, not we, I had nothing to do with it, her healthcare providers decided, her medication won't ever get regulated. She won't consistently come to the church every morning to get medication. So they put her on an injection medication. 3 weeks ago, I was the only person at church after church on Sunday, and I was leaving, and she was sitting there, and I said, Debria, you're a little late. Well, why are you here still? She said, well, I've had a bad day, and this is my safe place. I said, well, Debria, you have an apartment now. Are you going to go home to it? And she said, oh, yeah, everything's going really well. But I needed a safe place. 3 years, medication after medication, doctor after doctor, being rejected from hospitals and housing. She is in stable housing. She takes regular medication now. She's able to have a full conversation. But when she's having a bad day, the church is the place she comes. To me, that speaks volumes of us, and it speaks volumes of God's love. So I wanted to read just a quick verse for us, because to me, this is why we do what we do, and it's why you also do what you do. It's in Leviticus 25:36-38. If any of your fellow Israelites become poor and are unable to support themselves among you, help them, as you would a foreigner or a stranger, so that they can continue to live among you. Do not take interest or any profit from them, but fear the Lord your God, so that they may continue to live among you. We often see people who look or seem different than us, right? And we see them as the other. But in reality, they are just like us. They may have had a harder life. They may have made different decisions. But they are still called to live among us. So I just want to thank you for allowing us to do that and allowing us to be here with you and to share a picture of someone who the world has rejected, the world has cast out. Because it's because of support and prayers and people like you that we are able to do that. And if we can do that for you, I am here as a representative of Sunrise saying we want to do that for you as well. That's all I have for today. And I thank you for your time and your consideration. But most of all, I just want to share what we're doing and let you know that you have also made an impact.